It's the Battle of the Canadian Prairie Provinces in boys and girls basketball at the Western Canada Summer Games in Swift Current, Saskatchewan. Live coverage is next, only on Shaw Spotlight.
From Swift Current Comprehensive High School in Swift Current, Saskatchewan, the Western Canada Summer Games are live on Shaw Spotlight. Good morning from Saskatchewan, everybody. I'm Simon Hyatt, joined today by Blaine Evans as we've got a doubleheader of championship basketball coming your way on Shaw Spotlight. This tournament began on Saturday morning with a pair of games between Alberta and Saskatchewan. And this tournament's going to end with a pair of games between Alberta and Saskatchewan on both the male side and the female side of the draw. That male game coming up around noon Saskatchewan time. But up first, we've got the female game, as it will be 4-0 Saskatchewan playing at home, hosting 3-1 Alberta. Blaine, this should be a great game. We know one thing: whenever Alberta and Saskatchewan hook up in any sort of sport, no matter what level, it's always a fierce battle.
That's right. It's a matchup we're talking about. If you can't get up for this matchup, you better check your pulse. And it sounds like the fans are excited here this morning as well.
They are getting pumped up here in Swift Current. Lots of Saskatchewan fans, but there's a lot of Alberta fans too. This one is going to be a lot of fun. As I mentioned, these two games met up in game one of this tournament. Saskatchewan came out on top 64-56. We'll see what happens in the championship game coming up next on Shaw Spotlight. Just a couple minutes away from tip-off at Swift Current Comprehensive High School in Swift Current, Saskatchewan. Simon Hyatt, Blaine Evans, the whole Shaw Spotlight team from Southwest Saskatchewan today. Thanks so much for tuning in. We've got a great doubleheader of basketball coming your way. A pair of Alberta-Saskatchewan matchups. What more could you ask for in a couple of championship games? Just moments away, as I mentioned, from tip-off between Alberta and Saskatchewan on the female side of things. This is the way this tournament started, as I mentioned in the open, 64-56, the final in that one. Saskatchewan coming out on top. Now time to meet the starting lineups for Alberta and Saskatchewan as they get ready to battle for Western Canada Summer Games supremacy. Maddie Seda, the captain for Team Saskatchewan. She wears number 8. She had an outstanding game in that first matchup against Alberta, scoring 24 points, really putting the team on her back en route to that victory. Emma Kakura, Skyla Kasich, Lauren Hodgins rounding out the starting lineup. Katie Rathwell, also just a great tournament for this Saskatchewan team. Rathwell wearing number 5. She had 14 in that Game 1 victory, 17 in the Game 3 win over Manitoba. So Saskatchewan wearing the green and yellow as per usual. They will be heading screen right. The visiting Alberta team will be wearing the white uniforms with the blue trim and the darn near illegible numbers from far away, so we'll do our best to get the call right on those folks. But bear with us, I got some old man eyes up here. Moments away from tip-off, Alberta, as I mentioned, wearing the white uniforms, the blue trim. They'll be heading screen left. Winner of this one claims gold at the Western Canada Summer Games. For Alberta, number 5, Dakota Wedman. Number 12, Elise Toogood. Number 23, Nora Luca. What a great tournament she has had for this Alberta team. 4 is Katie Feasby. 5, Dakota Wedman, as I mentioned. Just about ready to tip things off from Swift Current. Opening tip-off. It was Alberta that got a hand on it. Toogood, but ends up in the hands of Saskatchewan. Controlling it, Katie Rathwell. She hands it off. This is Maddie Seda, team captain. She scoops it up and under. That one won't go. Alberta comes away with it. Nora Luca up ahead quickly on the run in the other direction is Alberta. And we'll get our first foul of the game. Looks like we're going to get Katie Rathwell called for it. First foul on either side. Just underway in this one. Simon Hyatt, Blaine Evans with you from Swift Current, Saskatchewan. Quick inbounds pass. Nice take there. That one won't drop for Nora Luca. Second chance will go.
Good job on the glass there by Luca. Stuffed that one back for the game's first points.
This is a pretty even matchup. Our first game, a tight back and forth affair. Saskatchewan did fall down early. The shot by Saskatchewan's Rathwell gets knocked back, so a chance for Alberta to pad their lead. Wide open look, Jenna Karach. That one won't drop. Another offensive rebound for Alberta. This one good for Elise Too Good. Quick 4-0 lead, just about a minute into this gold medal match between Saskatchewan and Alberta. Directing traffic for Saskatchewan, this is Maddie Seda. She gets it into the hands of Emma Kakura. Kakura bounces off. Nice little pass there, Skyla Kasich. She feeds Lauren Hodgins, and she gets tied up. And actually, we're going to get a foul called against Alberta. Looks like Dakota Wedman just picked up her first. So one foul apiece. Again, at this Western Canada Summer Games, playing by FIBA rules. 5 fouls will put a team into the free throw situation. 5 personal fouls by any player means the end of their game. Long inbounds pass. That one finds Lauren Hodgins. She goes high off the glass, gets it to go.
And Saskatchewan is on the board just like that.
First points of the night for the home team. Should say for the day. It's weird broadcasting basketball first thing in the morning. I'm going to have to get used to that as well. Turnover here for Alberta. Don't know who Feesby was looking for, but coming away with it is Rathwell. Good job to keep it alive. Rathwell gets it back, then loses it. Pardon me, that's Kakura who had it go off her knee. So back over to Alberta. They lead by 2. Just about 2 minutes into this one.
Nobody home there.
Possibly a little bit of nerves here in the early going. Obviously, in a gold medal game, obviously, these are experienced teams. They've played all weekend long, but a little bit of a different thing when you're playing the championship game. Maybe seeing a little bit of that here in the early going, Blaine.
Yeah, definitely. I think so.
Alberta really likes to stretch this pressure. This is something they do so well. They force a lot of turnovers. That was what really was one of the huge keys to their success yesterday in their big victory over Manitoba. Stretching that pressure out to full courts led to a lot of Manitoba turnovers. Saskatchewan able to fight through. Shot won't go for Lauren Hodgins. Alberta comes away with it. They're on the run once again. Nice bounce pass up ahead. Good defense by Saskatchewan. Trying to find the opening. Eventually getting the shot off is Elise Too Good, but can't get it to go.
Good job there by Saskatchewan. They just form a wall around the basket. Keep it from going in.
Maddie Seda directing traffic. Hands it off, ball out of bounds. Will stay with Saskatchewan. Losing it was Rathwell. They'll have 11 seconds to work with on the shot clock. 7:24 to go first quarter. Kakura to inbound. Needs to get it in. Long inbounds pass. Finds it, Rathwell. Rathwell trying to find the opening. Knocked away briefly by Jermicana. Ooh, looked like pretty good defense there from Alberta's Elise Too Good. Tough foul call there. Looked like she had good positioning, but it will be free throws for Saskatchewan. So that's Skyla Kasich to the free throw line. Kasich, 5'10", 16-year-old. 10 points in the Game 4 win over Yukon Territory. Game Saskatchewan won 64-29 to wrap up their round robin play. It is round robin play here. There were no play-in games, just the 2 best records advancing to the championship games. As we mentioned, Saskatchewan went 4-0 into the round robin. Alberta 3-1. 1 for 2 goes Skyla Kasich. Cuts the deficit to 1. 7:12 to go first quarter. Little open jumper here. Nice touch.
Good movement there by Alberta.
Freya Seitz hits. Alberta doubling up the home team, Saskatchewan. Mentioned a strong contingent of Alberta parents and supporters here, and they like that. Saskatchewan turns it over. A little bit too much on that pass intended for Skyla Kasich. Feasby runs the floor. Now into the hands of McLaren. McLaren over to Richards. Richards the long shot. That'll drop for 3.
Nice shot.
The lead for Alberta is 5. Mentioned Saskatchewan got off to a slow start in the round robin clash between these two teams. Going off the glass for the three-point attempt was Maddie Seda. No good. Ball out of bounds back over to Alberta. Substitution first of the game for Alberta. Coming in will be Cole Graham, number 14. They'll get a little bit bigger with the 5'7" Cole Graham. Katie Feasby heads to the bench. Alberta with the ball and the early lead. Down low, McLaren draws the triple team. Good defense for Saskatchewan. Now we'll get a tie-up underneath. Possession arrow favoring Alberta. They'll have 14 to work with on the shot clock. 6:07 to go first quarter. And Marissa Richards to inbound.
Saskatchewan needs a stop right here.
Back up top. This is DeClerc. Little jumper here for the captain, Dakota Wedman. That one well long. Loose ball off the hands of Saskatchewan. Now I thought, oh no, that's right. The shot did not hit the rim, so only 2 seconds on the shot clock for Alberta to make something happen here. They made a pretty quick catch and release. Instead, it's going to go off of the hands of Cole Graham, out of bounds over to Saskatchewan. 5:54 to go first quarter in this championship final. Again, lots of pressure from Alberta. Saskatchewan able to work their way through it. Seda gets the ball into the front court for the green and yellow. Seda looking to drive, dishes with a little contact. Skyla Kasich on the run off the glass. That one won't go. Loose ball tracked down. That's going to be a travel against Marissa Richards. You could see just had a little bit of trouble controlling the ball. Couldn't get that dribble down as she was taking some steps. So Saskatchewan will take over. Another Alberta substitution. Magdalene Smith wearing number 13 in for her first shift of the morning. We'll get another look at the travel here by Roberts. Tough to falter on that one. It was a good aggressive play to come up with the loose ball. Then another tough one for Richards as she ends up kicking it. So back over to Saskatchewan, down 5.
It's been a tough 30 seconds for Marissa Richards.
But again, it's all strong play on her part. You know, nothing you could say was really a mistake on her part. Playing hard, playing aggressive, but does lead to a couple of turnovers. And Saskatchewan continuing to struggle from the floor with their shots. They're going to pick up a foul. It was Kakura on the miss, and she just picked up her first foul of the morning. 10-minute quarters in this round robin tournament and championship game. Just about halfway home. First quarter of play. Substitution for Saskatchewan. Lauren Hodgins will check out of the game. Picking up the dribble, Katie Feasby. With a foul called. 2 in pretty rapid succession for Saskatchewan. This one's going to go against
Kasich?
Skyla Kasich. Yeah, you're correct. It's Rachel Vanderhooft who checked into the game for Saskatchewan. Vanderhooft wearing number 10. On the drive, the last second dish, great little play. Nice work, Chloe DeClerc on the drive. Dishes, and it's a 10-3 Alberta lead out of the gate as we hit the midway point in the first quarter. Turnaround shot, that one won't go for Wedman. And another foul against Saskatchewan, so the points aren't piling up, but the fouls are starting to for Saskatchewan. That'll be their 4th team foul. Another Alberta substitution. Matlin Dreffs will check into the game. Marissa Richards out. Dreffs wearing number 7. Now looks like Saskatchewan wants to change things up a well. Rola Germicana wearing number 4 will check in, her first shift. That'll send Katie Rathwell to the bench. Saskatchewan looks to get back into this one. Deficit just 7, but for Saskatchewan, the concern, just no shots dropping to this point. Alberta drefts on the run. She tries to go high off the glass. That one won't go. Loose ball, rebounded, nice put back. Elise, too good.
He was too good on that play.
Pardon me, and I'm sorry I blew that one for you. That was Magdalene Smith who came up with it. So now the deficit 9 for Saskatchewan. Vanderhoof looking inside. Skyla Kasich goes off the glass. That one drops.
Saskatchewan needed that one.
Alberta works it around on the perimeter. Graham finds a cutting teammate. Nice shot off the glass. Micah Reed. To a 9-point deficit. Saskatchewan just a little bit out of control. Seda really trying to force it there. Dribbles into traffic. Wanted the foul, but a good no call leads to 2 more points
Maddie
for
Seda's
Alberta.
down.
Seda, could see her grabbing that ankle.
That's not good news for Saskatchewan.
Oh, that's their captain. Talk about the great games Maddie Seda has had throughout this tournament. Huge loss as she gets the piggyback ride off the court from head coach Tracy Johnson. So teams will head to the sideline momentarily on the injury. We'll get another look at it here. See if we can see what happened to Maddie Seda.
Maddie Seda just trying to do it all herself. And
might have banged knee. Well, it's her ankle she's grabbing. It's hard to see there. Must have just twisted it a little bit.
Came down awkwardly on that ankle.
So hopefully for Saskatchewan, Maddie Seda will be able to get back into this one. They need her, especially as they find themselves down 11, 3:40 to go. First quarter. Kasich back into the hands of Kukura. Kukura lucky to keep it alive, gets it back outside. Blackburn now, left-handed shot off the glass. No good, but right there with the putback, Rachel Vanderhoof, her first points of the game.
Big rebound right there. This is a real turning point in the game. We'll see how Saskatchewan can respond to that injury.
But then Saskatchewan falls apart on the defensive side of things. Nobody picking up the Alberta player, Kakura, easy lay-in. Saskatchewan has to do a better job of getting back on defense. Down to the floor goes Jermacana. She wanted the foul, ends up landing out of bounds back over to Alberta. Substitution for Alberta, back into the game.
This game is quickly getting away from Saskatchewan here. Find themselves down 18-7 right now.
Jenna Karach back in for Alberta. This is Karach looking to drive, losing the handle, out of bounds. Will stay with Alberta, 12 seconds on the shot clock. 2:48 to go, first quarter. Yeah, you're right, Blaine. Saskatchewan needs to turn it around here. One of the hallmarks of this team during this tournament, though, is they do have the ability to pile up points in a hurry, but need some defensive stops, and more importantly, just need to play better fundamental basketball and do the things that got them to this championship game. Forcing passes like that is not going to be the answer. Kakura trying for the bounce pass inside with a couple of Alberta players in the way. Ends up going as a football, so Saskatchewan will maintain the possession. Long inbounds pass. This is Vanderhoof. She's done a nice job since coming in off the bench for Saskatchewan. Draws the foul. Foul's going to go against Marissa Richards of Alberta. Substitution, Micah Reed out for Alberta. Back into the game, Chloe DeClerc. 2:35 to go, first quarter.
I think that last foul was Jenna Karach.
Rathwell on the drive. She draws contact and will head to the free throw line. Maryland refs the guilty party. So that'll send Rathwell to the free throw line, looking for her first points. Told you about her outstanding tournament. 14 points in game 1 in the win over Alberta, 7 in game 2, 17 in game 3 in the win over Manitoba, and 12 yesterday against Yukon Territories. Free throws here are huge.
I know
we are in the early going.
We still have 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in the first quarter, but these are about as big of free throws as you can get this early in the game.
Rathwell hits the front end. Second one will go as well.
She's good.
2.5 to go. First quarter of play from Swift Current. The winner claims gold. Foul on the far sideline. Looks like they'll get Micah Reed for it, or pardon me, Lucy Blackburn for it for Saskatchewan. .224. Alberta now into the bonus, so they'll shoot free throws for the rest of the first quarter on any foul. Seems to be good on the front end. Lead back to a double-digit one. Second one, no good. Loose ball tracked down by Saskatchewan's Rathwell. Long pass up ahead into the hands of Kukura down low. Vanderhoof tries to go up. Can't get that one to go. Again, good collapsing defense by Alberta, disrupting the shot. They go on the run in the other direction. Outside, open look for three. That one well long for Alberta's Matlin refs. Here comes Saskatchewan trying to get back into this one on the run. Again, Rathwell maybe forcing it just a little bit too much. Good defense by Alberta. They head in the other direction, thinking about the shot. Now driving, kicking it outside for Feasby. Long two for Elise Toogood. That one well off the mark. Alberta's shot's gone a little bit cold here in the last couple of minutes, which is helping Saskatchewan to maybe get into this one. Behind the back pass, that one won't go, but well set up by Emma Kukura. Neither team really shining in terms of shooting percentage. Ball out of bounds, back over to Saskatchewan. Substitutions for Alberta. Alex McLaren back in. Marissa Richards as well for Alberta. Alberta leads by 10. Time getting short first quarter in this gold medal final. Rathwell looks ahead. Scott Hodgins. Another Saskatchewan turnover. Alberta has numbers in the other direction. Left-handed, that'll drop. Elise Toogood. Again, this Alberta team so good at distributing so many weapons. For three, that one's short.
The fans here are calling for the points to be put on the scoreboard.
Well, they've got it right. Another foul. More free throws for Alberta. This time it'll be Marissa Richards heading to the free throw line. Brief discussion at the scorer's table, as there was a little bit of confusion, as you mentioned, Blaine, with the score. Now they've got it sorted out. 12-point Alberta lead, 50.4 seconds to go, first quarter of play. Good on the front end. That gives her 4 points in the early going. And here, a lot of support from the Alberta fans on the made free throw, and a lot of noise from Saskatchewan trying to disrupt the free throws. That one's going to go out of bounds over to Saskatchewan, as Richards the last to touch it.
It worked. They managed to distract her just enough.
Saskatchewan fans will take credit for that one for sure. Kukura pushes for Saskatchewan. Vanderhoof. Long look, nice touch from outside. Saskatchewan needed that one from Katie Rathwell.
Nice pass to set that one up, and then nice bucket from beyond the arc.
Long jumper, nice touch with the answer. Elise Toogood, she's having a great game. 6 points early going. Again, Alberta showing that pressure. Saskatchewan able to fight through it once again. Time getting short. First quarter, shot no good for Rathwell. Down to 3 seconds to go first quarter. That one well read by Marissa Richards. Will go out of bounds, but just 0.6 seconds showing on the clock pretty tough to get a shot off in this situation for Saskatchewan. Pretty much just going to have to be a tip off the inbounds. It will be Lucy Blackburn to inbound it, and time will expire. 24-12 Alberta, doubling up Saskatchewan. After 1 quarter of play, Alberta with the 12-point lead. We'll take a break. You're watching live championship basketball from the Western Canada Summer Games on Shaw Spotlight. Back inside Swift Current Comprehensive High School, it is the gold medal final on the female side, the Western Canada Summer Games, Alberta and Saskatchewan. First quarter pretty much controlled by Alberta, doubling up Saskatchewan 24-12 on the Saskatchewan home floor. So certainly some things for Saskatchewan to talk about at the break between the first and second quarter. Simon Hyatt, Blaine Evans, the whole Shaw Spotlight team with you.
In that first quarter, it seemed every time Saskatchewan tried to get some momentum going, Alberta had an answer. We'll see how things go here in the second.
Yeah, you're right. Alberta with that punishing defense, limiting to Saskatchewan to just 12 points. Running take, that one well off the mark for Kakura.
Not a high percentage shot right there.
No. Long look for three. What a touch from outside. Nora Luca for three. Luca, the model of consistency throughout this tournament. 15 points game 1, 15 points game 2, 15 points game 3, and then she blew it in game 4 when she scored 16. Really messed up that average.
Really
back over to Saskatchewan.
Really off her game that night.
Yeah, exactly. Got 5 points in this one following that big three-pointer. Alberta takes it over with the 15-point lead. Bit of a uniform issue here for Kakura. Has to get that jersey tucked in. Now we're ready to go. Feesby directing traffic. She looks ahead for Too Good. Quick foul call there. Tough one on Skyla Kasich of Saskatchewan. First team foul here
second
for Saskatchewan. Second, right. Good call there for Skyla Kasich. Just underway, second quarter, all Alberta so far. Another long look. Nora Luca, 4-3, feeling it. The lead 18 for Alberta.
It's a backbreaker, that one.
You see a ton of time to go in this one, but Saskatchewan needs to find an answer, need to get out on Luca and try and disrupt that shot, and need to get some shots of their own to drop.
Luca's
Vander, who
right
can't hit.
She's going to try another one.
Gets it over for Too Good instead. The jumper off the glass, that one won't go. Gets the rebound on her miss, that one no good. And we'll get a foul underneath. Looks like this one will go against Alberta's Jenna Karach. Get another look here at the long shots. Nora Luca just having an outstanding tournament all weekend long in Saskatchewan. Couple of big threes here. Expanding the Alberta lead, now 18. 8.5 to go, first half from Swift Current. First game of our doubleheader today. A reminder, game 2 coming your way around noon Saskatchewan time. It will be Alberta and Saskatchewan once again, this time on the male side of the draw at the Western Canada Summer Games. Time getting short on Saskatchewan, 2 on the shot clock. That one put up by Kasich, no good, loose ball. Saskatchewan able to come up with it. Oh, and jamming the rim. If that doesn't tell you a little bit about the way this game has gone for Saskatchewan. Kakura comes up with the ball, a great play, and then just jams the rim on the shot, and then leads to points on the other side. Nora Luca hits again for 2.
She can't miss right now.
Already up into double digits on the game. That is very close to a backcourt violation by Saskatchewan. It is not. The ball didn't cross the line. Running take. That one high arcing shot won't go for Kasich. Offensive rebound for Vanderhoof. Leads to the long take. That just gets the front of the rim for Rathwell. Saskatchewan would really like to get Katie Rathwell going. Looking to run the floor. Blackburn's shot won't go. Kasich comes away with the board for Saskatchewan, down 20 now. 7:11 to go, second quarter. Screen here from Vanderhooft. Passing on the shot, Kasich instead takes it underneath. Great little move, scoops it up. Reverse shot, 5 points for Kasich. Could have been a travel there on the set shot by Dakota Wedman. Thought maybe she shuffled the feet a little bit as she was setting up. Doesn't matter, Saskatchewan comes away with it. Blackburn's shot no good. Rebounded by Karach. Double dribble, oh man, it's a big lead for Alberta. You hate to see that kind of a careless play by Alberta. No one with anywhere near the Alberta player. They'll turn it back over to Saskatchewan. We're gonna get a timeout. Told you about this Western Canada Games setup. Teams from the Prairie provinces, Alberta, Manitoba, Saskatchewan, all converging on Swift Current, as our teams from up north, Northwest Territories, and the Yukon also taking part. So we get another look at that last shot. Luca again just heating up. Teams from across Canada on the Shaw Spotlight side of things too. We got folks from Sault Ste. Marie, we got Cranbrook, we got Saskatoon, we got Winnipeg in the house, all coming to bring you this broadcast. We hope you're enjoying the basketball this morning at the Western Canada Summer Games. Simon Hyatt, Blaine Evans handling the call for you today. Great to see our colleagues from across the country converging on Swift Current.
Yeah, great to be here. Was anticipating a little bit of a closer game so far, but we'll see how.
And you know, we could see that yet. Saskatchewan has shown a propensity to go on runs. They're a good defensive team, at least better than what we've seen here in the early going in this one. If they can sort that out.
And Simon, they're still tending to Maddie Seda over there in the corner.
Yeah, Maddie, good call, Blaine. Maddie looked like rolled her ankle in the first quarter. Big loss for Team Saskatchewan, their captain.
You know, it's going to take a lot to keep her out.
Running take, again, shots just not dropping. This time, Rathwell just a little too strong off the glass. Offensive board for Saskatchewan, so they'll get another chance to set something up. Long look, just a little bit too long for Rathwell. This time Alberta comes away with it. This is Richards on the run. She's going to look to take it all the way. She can't find the angle. Offensive board for Alberta. This is too good looking to drive. She gets it to go. Too good, up to 8 points on the day.
Taking it to the glass with authority right there. Extends this lead to 20.
5:50 to go, first half. Shot long, well off the mark, and then well defended underneath.
Just a desperation three right there by Saskatchewan.
A foul call will go against Marissa Richards of Alberta. Yeah, you're right.
Emma Kakura, she just heaved that one up there.
Wasn't it? I mean, she had an open look at it, but man, it was not close. There'll be free throws for Team Saskatchewan, down 20 to the free throw line. Goes Skyla Kasich. Kasich, 5'10", 16-year-old player. Saskatchewan team made up of a mix of 16 and 15-year-olds. Kasich good on both. She's up to 7 points unofficially on the day. A little bit of half-court pressure here from Saskatchewan. Alberta able to fight through it well. Leads to the easy take. Marissa Richards underneath. Saskatchewan's going to come out and try and do that little half-court trap. They got to fall back on defense, and no one picked up Richards. She gets the easy lay-in back to a 20-point Saskatchewan lead, or Alberta lead. Kakura directing traffic. She feeds it in. This is Hodgins. Trying to go back outside for Lucy Blackburn. Another Saskatchewan turnover. Rola Germicana will check back into the game for Saskatchewan. Emma Kakura out. Coach Tracy Johnson will have a word with her on the bench.
Travel there.
Yeah, Alberta, a couple of careless turnovers here. They give it back over to Saskatchewan. Alex McLaren back into the game for Alberta. continues to show some pressure on the inbounds play. Richards backs off. Bounce pass at the end. A good look once again for Skyla Kasich, but again, Saskatchewan just unable to finish. So back comes Alberta. This is DeClercq. On the outside now, Drefts. Feeds it inside. DeClercq puts up the shot. That one rattles around and drops. First points of the morning for Chloe DeClercq. Rathwell into the front court. This is Kasich. Long take. Jermacana's shot's a little flat. Just gets the front of the rim. DeClercq in the other direction, being hassled all the way by Rolla Jermacana. And it'll be Jermacana called for the foul. Another substitution for Alberta. Marissa Richards will check out. Micah Reed back in for Alberta. They lead by 22. Running take. That one won't go for DeClercq. Coming down with it was Jermacana, and then we'll get an Alberta foul. First of the game on Alberta's Matlin Drefts. Second team foul for Alberta. Pardon me, that's the second foul for Drefts. Looking to run the floor all the way. Rathwell off the glass and in. Back to a 20-point game. DeClercq controls a little bit of a screen there. Shouldn't say a little bit, it was a big screen. Leads to the open take. Shot won't drop. Back comes Saskatchewan. Time getting short second quarter. Need to make a run here if they want to have some momentum heading into the locker room at the half. Jermacana losing the handle. More good Alberta defense. They come away with it. Now long outlet pass. Almost a walk there. Ball out of bounds. Will no, pardon me, going to go over to Saskatchewan. Alberta thought it was their ball. I did as well. Officials right there on the spot. Substitutions for Alberta. Jenna Kratch, Nora Luca back into the game. Long inbounds pass for Rathwell. She'll look to run. Bounces off. This is Kasich up top. Lucy Blackburn the long two. That one no good. Good positioning to grab the rebound. Putback won't drop for Hodgins. Second chance won't go for Saskatchewan. Another offensive board though for the green and yellow. So now Rathwell will reset up top. Looks to drive, hits the floor. One of those plays where Rathwell just collided, I believe, with Cole Graham and hits the deck. And in that situation, even though Alberta didn't really do anything too wrong, will get the foul call. We'll get another look at the play here. Little collision. Looks like it was actually Chloe DeClercq there on the collision. I believe they called the foul on Graham. Micah Reed now. 20-point lead for Alberta into the timeout. Western Canada Summer Games, gold medal game here in the female side of the draw at the Western Canada Summer Games in Swift Current. It's been a bit of a rainy start to the games here in Swift Current. I know several of the events ended up being delayed, postponed yesterday. Of course, we're nice and dry and warm inside, which I think is it's good that they decided to not play outdoor basketball. But I know the mountain biking, soccer, a couple of the athletic events were delayed yesterday. Where it rained pretty much all day here in Swift Current. Much nicer, sunnier day here in Swift Current today. So hopefully they'll be able to get some of those events in. Some of the new facilities that have been built for these games, beach volleyball courts at Riverside Park and a newly developed mountain bike course. A couple of the legacies coming out of these Western Canada Summer Games. So hopefully those will get put to good use. Trying to force the inbounds pass. There's Blackburn with a couple of Alberta players in between her and Laura Hodgins. Saskatchewan will hang on to the ball. 14 seconds on the shot clock, 3:01 to go second quarter. This is Rathwell. Blackburn out on her. Bit of a screen there from Hodgins. Nice running take. That'll drop. Pulls Saskatchewan back within 18. And then Alberta turns it over once again. Maybe a little bit of momentum here. Good decision by Rathwell. Alberta did a good job to get back in a hurry. Oh, and that's going to go as a walk. Against Lucy Blackburn. Good defense once again by Alberta, forcing that. Blackburn got up into the air and landed with the ball still in her hands. Good defense again for Saskatchewan. Jermicana disrupting the play. Alberta keeps it alive. Long two, that one won't drop. There for the rebound, Kasich. Gets it into the hands of Rathwell. 2:10 to go, second quarter from Swift Current. Long jumper for Rathwell, a little too long. Ends up getting the rebound on her own miss. Saskatchewan will reset, now a little bit of contact. Katie Feasby going to be called for the foul. Out of the game, Nora Luca for Alberta. Also coming out, Jenna Karach. Rathwell to the free throw line. Second one, first one rattles around a couple of times, eventually drops. Rathwell having a great tournament. 14 points game 1, 7 in game 2, 17 game 3, 12 in game 4. Gets both free throws to rattle home and drop. Although it looks like that second one waved off, must have been a lane violation against Saskatchewan.
Tough penalty.
Remains a 17-point game, under 2 to go second quarter. More good defense by Saskatchewan. It's Jermicana disrupting things on the run. Lauren Hodgins, and we'll get a foul called against Alberta. Jermicana's done a great job getting in there and disrupting the Alberta offense. Lauren Hodgins now to the free throw line. Foul will be called on Chloe DeClerc of Alberta. Her first. Hodgins hits the front end, gives her 3 points on the morning. 1:48 to go, second quarter. Second one, no good. Battle for the loose ball, won by Alberta. Coming away with it, Dakota Wedman. Looking ahead, ends up staying with Alberta, although not the intended receiver. It's Cole Graham who comes away with it. DeClerc shovels it over, now back outside for Feasby. She looks down low, turnaround shot. That one just gets the front of the rim. Kasich comes away with it. Into the sure hands of Katie Rathwell. Saskatchewan looking to make a run, heading into the locker room. 1:18 to go, second quarter. Long touch, nice shot. Emma Kakura for 3.
Big shot right there by Kakura. Pulled him to within 8 here with 1:04 remaining.
Losing the handle on her way through Chloe DeClerc. Alberta keeps it alive, leads to the long take, no good for Feasby.
And that's just what Saskatchewan needed, a big stop right there.
Possibility could make it a single-digit deficit if they can get a couple of buckets here. A stop heading into the locker room. That would make a huge difference, but more good Alberta defense blocking that shot. At least too good.
Got a hand on that one.
Yeah. Nora Luca going to check back into the game for Alberta. Cole Graham comes out. 34.1 to go, second quarter. Timeout here in Swift Current. Western Canada Summer Games been staged in venues across our country, well, across the western part of our country since 1975. Held every 4 years.
It all began in Regina.
What's that, sir?
It all began in Regina.
All began in Regina. You're right, back in 1975. This is the 5th time in Saskatchewan. 79 in Saskatoon, 87 back in Regina, 99 up in Prince Albert, and this is the first time since those 99 games in Prince Albert that the games have been held in Saskatchewan. Been a bit of a shift in recent games to go towards smaller communities like Swift Current, Saskatchewan. It's fun coming to a place like this. You know, we've been here for the past couple of days, and you can feel this is something that this just kind of takes over the entire community. You know, it goes to a place like Calgary or something like that. The games might kind of get lost there, but everybody here is talking about the games, and everybody involved. So many volunteers, everybody involved one way or another.
Yeah, a lot of excitement, and then you talk about the legacy as well that these games will leave on this community.
Some brand new facilities, those beach volleyball courts, the mountain bike course. That'll be something folks here can enjoy for years to come. Saskatchewan showing some pressure on the inbounds. Alberta with the ball, the 13-point lead. Under 30 to go, second quarter. Stay tuned. We're going to have a great feature coming up at the half. Quick foul here on Rola Jermakana. She's been so good on the defensive side of things, just a little too aggressive there. Second of the game on Rola Jermakana. Now down to 23.2 to go. Quick step there, too quick of a step. Going to be a walk called against Chloe DeClerc. So now Saskatchewan can hold for the final shot of the first half. 21.1 to go. Shot clock is off. Jermakana. Back to Kasich. Now up top for Rathwell. Rathwell trying to spin her way through. Kicks it outside for Jermakana. Long shot, no good there for the offensive board. And the putback, that one won't go for a Hodgins. Ball being batted around. Alberta comes down with it. They won't get a shot off, but they will take a 13-point lead into the locker room at the half. 38-25 is our score after 20 minutes of play. We are going to take a break, and we're going to take a quick look at that special feature on one of the biggest basketball stars to come out of Saskatchewan in recent years. The only thing that's more impressive about Michael Linklater's success on the court is the journey he has taken off of it and the drive that took him to where he is today.
Right now, my body is being told that it's about 28 because that's the way it feels. And so in my mind, I don't feel that I'm my age. Like, I'm even surprised when it's always being reiterated back to me actually how old I am.
While he is now closer to 40 years old than he is to 30, Michael Linklater is on the verge of achieving two of the biggest dreams imaginable for any athlete, let alone ones that are half his age. He will soon be playing professional basketball in his hometown, and may be on his way to compete at the Olympic Games.
For me, I haven't let that become an obstacle, and that's something I've been overcoming my entire life, is obstacles.
He has spent much of his life being told all the reasons he couldn't make it as a basketball player. He was the wrong age, the wrong size, even the wrong color.
Of course, I dealt with my fair share of racism growing up and being teased for having long hair, even on the basketball court, and even having it pulled.
And while those voices may have extinguished the internal fire in lesser people, they only served to stoke it for Linklater.
It was something that I always kept in the back of my mind, and when I didn't want to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning for a workout, you know, those voices telling me I couldn't do it were things that were pushing me to get out of bed. So I was able to kind of turn some of those negatives into real positives.
But it isn't only the naysayers he has had to overcome. The obstacles off the court have been even greater. He was actually born in Trenton, New Jersey, to a Canadian mother who has struggled with alcoholism her entire life.
And if it wasn't for my great aunt Maria Linklater searching for my mom, you know, I wouldn't be sitting in front of you here today and as the man I am. So I was about 10 days old when I came back to Canada and started living with Maria and her husband Walter, and that's who I call Mom and Dad to this day.
He credits Walter, who passed away shortly after this interview was conducted, and Maria for instilling in him a sense of pride in his Indigenous heritage, and also helping him to steer clear of the pitfalls that have claimed so many of the people he has loved.
I lost my best friend, Kevin Moccasin. He was actually stabbed in an after-hours party. He got into a fight. And so that was difficult for me. I lost my brother. He was drinking at a party and on the reserve, and same thing, he got into a fight and it was fatal for him. And some of my other relatives ended up overdosing while they were drinking. So, you know, addictions has been a tough part of my family's life.
Linklater believes much of the addiction he has seen stems either directly or as a trickle-down effect from the 60s scoop, residential schools, and the reserve system in Canada. And the personal tragedies he has experienced have informed one of the most important choices he says he has ever made.
To abstain from drugs and alcohol, not only for myself, but for future generations. Because growing up hearing some of the derogatory terms about all natives, or more bluntly, all Indians are drunks, you know, was something that I couldn't defend at a young age. Because I didn't know not only any Indigenous person, but anybody of any ethnicity who had never drank before. So I made that decision at a very young age, and you know, to this day I'm still drug and alcohol free. I've never experimented.
Linklater says the temptation certainly existed growing up in Saskatoon's core inner-city neighborhoods, but the lure of basketball was always stronger. It was a passion he first discovered attending St. Mary's Community School, and it was on a court in this schoolyard he made his first impressions, in more ways than one.
And while it was being built, I remember while the cement was drying, and I ended up carving my initials in the cement where they stuck the posts into the pavement. And that was forever my court.
Despite that early passion, Linklater was cut from the first team for which he ever tried out. But once again, that only served to stoke the fire. At Mount Royal Collegiate, he became a star, suiting up for the senior team for 3 years. He admits school wasn't always easy, and he bounced around during his post-secondary career, before returning home to Saskatoon and the University of Saskatchewan for one final magical season in 2009-2010.
It's hanging in. Linklater nails it!
Several years older than many of his teammates, Linklater's veteran leadership helped the team claim its first and only national title.
My biggest goal was winning. I didn't care if I scored points, I didn't care if I got recognition. If we won at the end of the day, I was happy. And so I did everything I could that year to make sure that I really had everyone kind of buy into their roles, and it was really like a family. That team was a family that year.
And even after their careers as Huskies came to an end, 3 of the brothers in that family kept playing together at the highest level. Linklater, Michael Liefers, and Nolan Brudel formed the core of a team that began competing in and dominating FIBA 3x3. Linklater believes their success stems more from the chemistry they have built over the years than athletic talent. Now teamed with former U.S. college star Steve Sir from Edmonton, they have competed around the world in the fast-paced half-court variant of the game. And when FIBA looked to add a venue for their 3x3 World Tour, Linklater quickly put on his promoter hat to suggest his hometown.
I've always been, I guess, a go-getter. And for me, once I see something in my mind, I know it will become a reality. I envisioned 3-on-3 happening in Saskatoon, and really with the Bessborough as the backdrop.
He started speaking with us about the conditions, the obligations, the financials of this kind of events. He was discussing with us that, you know, that this was a perfect fit for a city of 250,000 population like Saskatoon.
This event last July was the second the city hosted in a 3-year deal. It has proven wildly popular, with fans lined up down the block waiting for an opportunity to sit in the stands.
I believe that Saskatoon would come out and support this. And I think initially when people heard about a 3-on-3 tournament, they were expecting like a Canadian Tire hoop in a parking lot with some chalk drawn on the ground, you know, not understanding that this is a world-class event. So I think as it caught on, that the crowds came out in droves to really support not only the event, but also us as Team Saskatoon.
Last year's event in Saskatoon saw the home team start off 3-0 to the delight of the crowd. But they lost in the semifinal to the eventual tournament champions.
I think the event for us was a success. Of course we want to win, but where we want to be is continuously getting better. And I think a lot of athletes forget that when you lose, it's actually an opportunity to make yourself better.
That opportunity has taken on even more importance in recent years, as the International Olympic Committee has announced that 3-on-3 will become an official event for the 2020 Games in Tokyo. Team Saskatoon has already laid claim to the title of Team Canada and will attempt to play their way into the 8-team Olympic field.
For me, being at the tail end of my playing career, this would be a wonderful way to really cap it all off and come home with an Olympic gold medal. And for us to be as good as we are right now, we still have a lot of room to get much better. And it's scary for other teams.
But before his Olympic dream takes flight, he will get the chance to play pro hoops in his hometown. He was among the players drafted by the Saskatchewan Rattlers in the new Canadian Elite Basketball League, which will begin play this spring. He will likely once again be older than most of his teammates by a decade, but says he feels as strong physically as he ever has, thanks to his work with a trainer and nutritionist.
That's the most workout I've had in years.
He has begun contemplating life after basketball, whenever that begins, and says he hopes to work with young people in some capacity. He will also continue his efforts with the charity he started, Boys with Braids, which encourages young Aboriginal men to take pride in their heritage and wear their hair in the traditional way as he does.
A lot of our young Indigenous boys are being teased and bullied to the point where they're cutting off their culture in that sense by cutting off their hair.
Linklater now has 4 children of his own and says at times in recent years he considered walking away from the game to spend more time with them. But ironically, they are the ones who inspired him to keep driving.
I asked them if they wanted me to continue playing because of how much travel takes me away from them. And it was my voice that I shared with them echoing back to me. So my daughter shared with me, she said, "No, Dad, you need to keep playing because you have to follow your dreams."
Oh, no.
Back live inside Swift Current Comprehensive High School at the half. Our score 38-25 is the score. Saskatchewan trailing by 13 to Alberta after beating Alberta by 8 in game 1 of this round robin tournament. Get a look at some of the first half highlights as Alberta really played some strong defense and Saskatchewan really struggled to get their shots going. Luca, really strong first half of play. Luca in the first half ended up with 10 points to lead the way for Alberta. Elise Toogood had 8 for Alberta. Marissa Richards ended up with 6. Get a look there at one of the long shots from Marissa Richards, her lone 3 of the first half for Saskatchewan. They did do a good job on the boards, but a lot of those second chances they were getting weren't dropping. And that led to some transition hoops for Alberta en route to their 38-25 halftime lead. So now as I welcome back in Blaine Evans. Blaine, if you're the Saskatchewan team, you know you're talented, you know you can play with Alberta, you know you've beaten them. What do you do to get back into this one as we get set for the second half?
Yeah, I think they just have to not try and get it all at once. It's not going to happen. You got to just come up with some big stops on the defensive end and just slowly chip away at that, just like they did at the end of the first half.
Second half just about ready to get underway. Got a couple of special guests here in the gym. We got Tansy and Ravi, the mascots for the Western Canada Summer Games, down in the corner, greeting the crowds, taking some selfies. Underway, third quarter of play. Alberta will begin with the ball and the 13-point lead. Simon Hyatt, Blaine Evans, the whole shot spotlight team with you. And right out of the gate, Jenna Karach hits the 2, the lead 15 for Alberta. Ball out of bounds, will stay with Saskatchewan, tipped by Alberta. 18 on the shot clock. Just underway, third quarter play. Saskatchewan trying to claw their way back into this one. Hodgins' long shot, a little bit too long. Good job to save it there by Kasich. Saskatchewan will reset, long 2. That one well long for Saskatchewan. That's Lucy Blackburn. Again, Maddie Seda out of the game for Saskatchewan. Still being attended to on the bench 2 more quick points for Alberta. This time, Dakota Wedman, her first basket of the game. The lead now up to 17. Couple of baskets right out of the gate for Alberta. That's not what you want if you're Saskatchewan coming out of the locker room at the half. Jermicana picks up the dribble. This is Hodgins. She picks it up now. Good defense there. Shot blocked from behind. It was Luca getting a hand on it. Saskatchewan keeps it alive. Whistle blows, I believe, gonna get the shot clock set correctly. It looked like it may have reset there, although possession didn't change. Jermicana out of the game for Saskatchewan. Back in comes Katie Rathwell. Told you, team captain Maddie Seda out with her ankle taped on the bench after rolling it in the first quarter of play. And with that shot clock not resetting, not great awareness here by Saskatchewan. Time just runs out on them. Saskatchewan still looking for their first points here in the third quarter. A little too aggressive. Lucy Blackburn going to be called for the foul. As Katie Feasby was driving. Get another look at it here. Yeah, you can see reaching in there, Blackburn. Checking, it looks like they called Kakura for it.
Number on the board.
Yeah, it looked like it was Blackburn who committed the foul, but they said Kakura, and that could be big as that's her third. First free throw rattles around, won't go for Katie Feasby, so remains a 17-point Alberta lead. Second one no good either. Loose ball corralled by Rathwell. Good job to get up and grab that one for Katie. She heads in the other direction with her Saskatchewan teammates, trying to get back into this one. Rathwell wants to do it herself. Nice running jumper. That'll drop. She's up to 13 points in the game.
Good decision.
Told you about Rathwell's 13. Skyla Kasich with 7. Emma Kakura with 5. Ball out of bounds. Will stay with Alberta. Substitution for Alberta. Magdalene Smith back into the game. Jenna Karach out. .14 on the shot clock as they get it in. Open look, Nora Luca, 4-3. That one off the mark. Her first miss from outside today. Hitting a couple of big threes in the first half. Saskatchewan on the run in the other direction. Kakura gets it into the hands of Blackburn. Blackburn's shot well off the mark. 2 minutes gone here in the third quarter of play. Good movement up ahead there. Leads to the open jumper. That one won't go for Luca. Saskatchewan comes away with it. Down 15, 7:40 to go third quarter. Wide open pass to the basket. Easy lay-in. Katie Rathwell up to 15. And then coming up with the steal, Saskatchewan. Oh, that breaks your heart if you're Kakura. Great defensive play. Can't finish.
Great turnover. She just didn't have the finish.
So Alberta controls. Smith's shot no good. Dribbling out with it, Kakura.
Looking for a chance to redeem herself on this drive.
Blackburn. Now Kasich turnaround shot, gets the friendly roll. Kasich now up to 9 on that morning. And Saskatchewan all of a sudden within 11 points. Nice little run here. So we approach the midpoint of the third quarter, losing the handle. Dakota Wedman, ball gonna go back over to Saskatchewan. Substitutions for Alberta. DeClerc and Reed back in. Perhaps the momentum starting to slide ever so quickly back into the hands of the green and yellow. Playing at home, Rathwell, bounce pass down low, going up. That one won't go for Hodgins. Good feed by Rathwell, leads to transition points for Alberta. Good read, they're so good at turning those fast breaks into points. Micah Reed there to finish it off. Lead back up to 13, 6:13 to go third quarter. Rathwell She'll pick it up, fires it over. Long 2 for Hodgins. That one no good. Alberta will push. Oh, and wide open underneath. A cutting Alberta player there to finish it off. Dakota Wedman, good vision. Zone falls apart for Saskatchewan. No one picked her up. Lead back up to 15. Kakura up top picks up the dribble. She snaps it over for Kasich. Kasich's shot no good. Well defended there by Smith.
Saskatchewan's gone cold the last minute or so here.
Long 2, no good. Micah Reed. Rathwell corrals that pass from Kakura. Now gets it back into the hands of Kakura. This would be a long 3. That one just gets the side of the rim. Saskatchewan can hit from outside, although they've struggled to do so in this morning's game. Running taken the other direction, no good for Chloe DeClercq. Second chance, drawing the contact, Magdalene Smith. Substitutions on both sides. Coming in for Saskatchewan will be Jerma Canna, Claire Dobbenfeld, and Rachel Vanderhooft. Marissa Richards will check back in for Alberta. The second substitution will have to wait as it's for the shooter. Shooter Magdalene Smith to the free throw line, trying to add to Team Alberta's 15-point lead. 5:05 to go third quarter. First one off the mark. It remains 46-31. Midway through the third quarter here in Swift Current. The winner of this one claims gold. The Western Canada Summer Games. Second one does rattle home for Magdalene Smith. That'll allow her to check out of the game. Alex McLaren will replace her. Increases Alberta's advantage to 16. Again, lots of pressure from Alberta. Again, leading to a turnover. I should say Saskatchewan's done a pretty good job of fighting their way through that pressure. It does lead to a turnover this time. The first long 3 won't go. Second one won't go for Chloe DeClercq. Another offensive board for Alberta. Doing a good job, although that's in part because those rebounds have been so long. They just kind of landed in the laps of players. Now, Jerma Canna able to come up with a loose ball. Saskatchewan will head in the other direction. Pulling back a little bit. Rath, while she looks inside, that pass intended for Kasich. It's Alberta coming away with it. Bringing the ball into the front court is McLaren. Back outside, wide open, look for 3. Micah Reed, no good. Good job to battle for that rebound. Marissa Richards comes up with it. Offensive boards going the way of Alberta here, giving them lots of opportunities. Not leading to points for them, luckily for Saskatchewan here in the last couple of minutes. Now transition basketball. Saskatchewan lucky to keep that one alive. Lucky to keep it alive twice here. Really scrambly play. Alberta eventually comes away with it. Now we got another fast break opportunity all the way, laying it in off the glass. Micah Reed. Timeout, Team Saskatchewan. Well, we don't know how much this team has been affected by the loss of their captain, Maddie Seda, who, as we mentioned, rolled her ankle in the first quarter, but she is obviously one of the real leaders on this team, Blaine. And when you lose someone like that, it not only can affect you on the floor, it can affect you mentally, your approach to the game when you lose your captain like that.
Definitely, and it requires everyone else to step up and everybody shoulder a bit of that load. And you know, right now Saskatchewan just not getting the bounces, and at the other end, Alberta is. They're all over the glass. And so Saskatchewan really has to make those opportunities count.
Alberta with the 18-point lead, 3:54 to go, third quarter of play from Swift Current. Talk about Maddie Seda's great tournament. She had 24 points in Saskatchewan's Game 1 victory, where they beat Alberta 64-56, then had 16 in Game 2 when they downed Northwest Territories. Just 4 points, all coming by way of free throws in Game 3 in their 65-47 win over Manitoba, and then 15 points yesterday when they downed Yukon 64-29. So a big loss for Team Saskatchewan with Maddie Seda out of the lineup. Coming out of the Saskatchewan timeout, they look to mount a comeback in this one. Jerma Canna's pass kind of landed in between a couple of Saskatchewan players. Alberta had a chance for more fast break points. Instead, they'll turn it back over to the green and yellow. 3:38 to go, third quarter. Officials will allow the late substitution. Jerma Canna comes out for Saskatchewan. Emma Kakura back in. Saskatchewan with the ball down 18. Open look from the corner. 4-3. Just a little bit off the mark for Skyla Kasich. Another rebound for Alberta. Looking to run the floor, getting the friendly roll. Great take. That drops for de Klerk. Another Saskatchewan turnover. Substitutions for Alberta. Trio of them. Matlin Drefts, Cole Graham back into the game. This is Marissa Richards. Fakes left, goes right, off the glass, won't go. Lead up to 20, matching the largest of the game for Alberta. Rathwell gets stuck down low, tries to kick it back outside for Vanderhoof. Alberta comes away with it. Karach on the run, that'll drop. Lead now 22, 2:45 to go, third quarter. Rathwell looking inside. Vanderhoof can't quite corral it. Saskatchewan keeps it alive. Rathwell. This is Kakura looking in now. Kicking it out is Vanderhoof. That one well off the mark for Skyla Kasich as time was getting short on the shot clock. De Klerk, far side, Marissa Richards, 4-3. Richards up to 9 points on the day. The lead now 25. Saskatchewan feeling this one slipping away. Offensive foul against Katie Rathwell.
Good defensive play by Marissa Richards after the three on one end. She comes back and she gets the foul.
Lauren Hodgins in for Saskatchewan. Nora Luca in for Alberta. Richards out on the Alberta side. Skyla Kasich checks out for Saskatchewan. 2 minutes to go, third quarter. Alberta can smell gold. Unable to hit that one, but second chance good. Nora Luca. Luca up to 12 points on the day. Saskatchewan came into this one as the defending Western Canada Summer Games champions. Won it back in 2015. 71-54 the final score in that game against Manitoba. Nice touch off the glass for Rathwell. Rathwell now up to 17 points for Saskatchewan. That Saskatchewan victory 4 years ago, led by current University of Saskatchewan Huskies star Kat Filipenko. She had 30 points in the championship game.
And that was in Alberta. With Buffalo, Alberta?
Absolutely.
Now we have Alberta trying to win it here in Saskatchewan.
There'd be some sweet revenge. Alberta lost in the bronze medal game in that tournament to British Columbia. Should mention British Columbia not taking part in this Western Canada Summer Games. We'll talk about that more a little bit later on. Another offensive foul against Saskatchewan. This time it'll be Emma Kakura called for it. At least two good back into the game for Alberta. Jenna Karach out.
That's a fourth foul on Kakura.
Next one will bring an end to her day and tournament. No immediate move to replace her by head coach Tracy Johnson. Great ball movement there to finish it. Nora Luca. Set up by Cole Graham. Well, now Kakura. She looks inside, picking up the dribble and snapping it down low off the glass. Nice touch, Lauren Hodgins. Makes it a 25-point game as time gets short in the third quarter. Down to 10 seconds to go. This is Luca just losing the handle on it. Coming away with it is Hodgins. Saskatchewan will push in the other direction with 3 seconds to go. Now they lose the handle, and the final couple of seconds will tip away. 60-35 is the score after 3 quarters of play. Alberta looking really good to claim gold in Saskatchewan. We're going to take a break. You are watching live championship basketball from the Western Canada Summer Games in Swift Current on Shaw Spotlight. Minutes to go in Swift Current, game 1 of our doubleheader on Shaw Spotlight. Alberta leads Saskatchewan 60-35. Winner of this one claims gold. Loser will take silver at the Western Canada Summer Games. Saskatchewan with a big mountain to overcome here in the 4th. Rathwell looks inside for Vanderhoof. Turnaround shot, that one won't go for Hodgins. But she draws contact if Saskatchewan has any chance of getting back into this one, and it's a slim chance, admittedly. Taking advantage of the free throw situations is key. Lauren Hodgins to the free throw line. 16-year-old at 5'11". First one gets the friendly bounce, that drops. That gives her 6 points on the day. Coming off an outstanding game against Manitoba. 3rd game of this tournament for Saskatchewan, in which she scored 21. Hodgins hits them both. The deficit 23 now. Saskatchewan showing a bit of full court press. Alberta fights through it well. Far side, Cole Graham picking up the dribble now is too good. Get some contact on the inside. Foul against Saskatchewan. Looked like a lot there. Saskatchewan doesn't love the call. Been all in all a well-officiated game, I would say. Vanderhoof called for it, her first of the game for Saskatchewan. Again, this is game 1 of our doubleheader today. Coming up in about 40 minutes time will be game 2, gold medal on the male side of the draw. Once again, Alberta and Saskatchewan. Invite you to stay tuned for that. Too good to the free throw line, hits the first. She hits this one, I'd give her 10 on the day. Doesn't complete the 2 for 2, but does give her team the 24-point lead. Just over 9.5 to go in this championship final. Simon Hyatt, Blaine Evans with you from Swift Current, Saskatchewan. Picking up the dribble, Lauren Hodgins. Good defense by Alberta. The clerk got a hand on that one, and then ball saved from going out of bounds by Nora Luca. Running take, that one won't go for Matlin Dreffs. Just out of bounds. We'll stay with Alberta, 20 on the shot clock. Mass substitutions for Alberta.
Great job on the defensive end there by Nora Luca to keep that ball in play.
Yeah, absolutely. She's had a great game on both sides of the ball for Alberta. Great tournament, really. Long take for 3, that one no good. Way up to grab it is Vanderhoof, and she gets tied up immediately. Jump ball, possession arrow favoring, oh, pardon me, it's not a jump ball, it's a foul called. Foul called against Alberta. I thought the initial signal was for a tie-up. Will be a foul going against Magdalene Smith of Alberta. More pressure from Alberta. Saskatchewan's done a pretty good job of dealing with that pressure for most of the day. It was really Manitoba's undoing yesterday. Rathwell dribbles in, draws the double team, leads to the open Vanderhoof underneath. She can't hit, comes up with a loose ball, gets it back outside for Dobbenfeld, but then Alberta comes away with it. They're going to head on the run, 2 on 3 in the other direction. Shot won't drop for Katie Feasby. Saskatchewan comes away with it. Now drawing the double team is Rathwell. Good job to get it into the front court by Rathwell. She looks inside for Vanderhoof. Vanderhoof draws contact. Foul going to be called against Alberta's Magdalene Smith. That's 2 in pretty quick succession for her. Marissa Richards will check back into the game for Alberta. Katie Feasby out. The lead 24 for Alberta. Been in control for most of this one. That pass well read by Marissa Richards, fresh into the game. And equally well read on the other side. Lauren Hodgins getting a hand on that one, tips it out of bounds. We'll stay with Alberta, 20 on the shot clock. Another Alberta substitution. Coach Isabelle Ormond being quite liberal with her bench, and you can do that when you have a team that's as deep and as talented as this Alberta squad clearly is. Alex McLaren will check back in for Alberta. Picking up the dribble is Feasby, hands it off for DeClercq. Now leads to the open take from well outside by Marissa Richards. A little bit too long on that one. Rathwell heads in the other direction for Saskatchewan. It looks like she wants to take it all the way. Last second tries to feed Lauren Hodgins. Once again, Alberta comes away with it. Another Saskatchewan turnover. This is Feasby bringing it back up high. Now looking to drive, scoops it up and under. Don't know how she got that one to drop. Great take, Katie Feasby. Couple of Saskatchewan defenders were there in good position. Feasby just split them, scoops it up and under. Gives Alberta the 26-point lead, 7:33 to go in this one. Long two here for Saskatchewan's Claire Dobbenfeld. Another rebound for Alberta, something they've done a great job of all game long. Pass errant, very nearly taking out our good friend Jono. He's okay. Staying strong. Good job, crew.
Did he flinch?
No, not for a second. Jono stayed strong. Dobbenfeld will pick up the dribble, might have shuffled her feet, gets it over for Rathwell. Rathwell for three. No. Off the mark, pardon me. From up here, I thought it went in. We're a long ways away. Nine bad eyes.
I did too.
All right, thank you. Thank you for you're a kind man, Blaine. You could have totally hung me out to dry there. Feasby underneath draws contact on the other side. She'll head to the free throw line. Got a Saskatchewan substitution. Rola Jarmacana is going to check back into the game for Sask as Claire Dobbenfeld comes out. Katie Feasby to the free throw line for Alberta. Short on the front end. So remains a 24-point Alberta lead, 6:57 to go. Alberta in pretty good shape to claim gold in Swift Current. Feasby hits the back end, gives her 4 points on the day. Rathwell's played just about the entire way for Saskatchewan. Picks up the dribble, kicks it over now into the hands of Blackburn. Blackburn trying to dribble her way through. She scoops it up, can't get the roll. Karach ahead into the hands of Feasby. Back to Karach up top. She'll look to drive, goes left hand. That one no good. Coming down with it. Going to end up going as a travel against Alberta. Good hustle to grab that one by McLaren. Unfortunately just ended up on her backside and rolled around a little bit. So we'll go as a walk. Back into the game for Alberta, Elise Too Good. She's having a good game. Now up to 9 points in the game. Nora Luca leading the way for Alberta with her 14. Running take won't go for Rathwell. More good Alberta defense. Not really giving her a great angle on that one. Madeline Dreffs. Long jumper, nice touch. Elise Too Good. Gives her 11. Gives Alberta the 27-point lead. 6 minutes to go until they will officially claim gold at the Western Canada Summer Games. Couple of substitutions for Saskatchewan. Perhaps coach reading the situation on the wall, giving a couple of her players a chance to come in that haven't seen the floor a whole lot. In fact, first shift of the game for Jillian Moses wearing number 13. Jillian, 15-year-old, one of the few 15-year-olds on this squad at 6'1", wearing number 13. Skylar Kasich also back into the game for Saskatchewan. At least she will check back in if this free throw drops, and it does for Lauren Hodgins. So Kasich will replace her with the free throws. The deficit now 25 for Saskatchewan. What will go as a disappointing end to a great tournament for Team Saskatchewan. Just completely outplayed here by Alberta this morning. Nice pass, good, strong finish. Jenna Karach up to 6 points, all coming here in the second half of action. Spinning her way through is Rathwell. Now she'll reset back up high. Looks to feed it down low. That one picked off. Alberta in the other direction with numbers. Bounced ahead off the glass for Marissa Richards. Richards draws contact. A little slow to get up. I think she's just fixing her shoe though. No injury. Her shoe actually came right off. That's a sign of someone who's playing hard. Get another look at it here as Richards drew the contact, and I think maybe one of the Saskatchewan players just kind of landed on their foot. See a big smile there for Richards, no injury. She knows her team Alberta on their way to gold in Swift Current. First one won't drop for Richards. She's at 9 points. Hits this one, she'll be in double digits for the second time in this tournament, unable to do so. She had 13 in game 3, their 80-40 win over Northwest Territories. Just about halfway home in this fourth and final quarter of play. Girls Championship final from Saskatchewan. Another steal for Alberta. Good defense from Alberta, and once again, Saskatchewan probably trying to force just a little bit too much. Nora Luca on the run. She's up to 16 points. Long take, Rathwell doesn't have the range from up top. Luca comes away with it. She bounces it ahead, well read by Jermicana. Alberta able to keep it alive. Long shot for Richards, just gets the side of the backboard. Saskatchewan will head in the other direction. Rathwell all the way, gets the lay-in. Katie Rathwell up to 19 on the morning, wide open on the other side. Magdalene Smith with the easy lay-in. The lead now 29. Rathwell loses the handle, picked up by Kokura. She looks inside, another Alberta steal. Now Luca on the run, see if she can take it all the way. We got a foul called against Saskatchewan's Lucy Blackburn, preventing the fast break points. Substitutions on both sides as we get another look at the foul. Back into the game for Saskatchewan, Emma Kokura. Freya Seitz will get in. I believe Seitz's first shift of the day. Seitz wearing number 15. 5'9", 15-year-old out of Saskatoon. Luca, a strong candidate for our player of the game in this one, up to 17 points now with that first free throw made. Alberta now up to the 30-point lead. Make it 31 as Luca goes 2 for 2. Well, she's exceeding that average that she had all tournament, where she scored 15 points in each of the first 3 games and got 16 yesterday in the game against Manitoba, the 88-35 Alberta win. Now up to 18 points is Luca. Long take, that one no good for Kokura. Working her way through traffic, Chloe DeClerc carves her way through the Saskatchewan defense before drawing the foul. .329 to go in this one. First foul of the game on Saskatchewan's Rola Jermicana. Sends DeClerc to the free throw line. DeClerc, 5'7", 16-year-old. Hits the back end. The lead 31 for Alberta. Not the result anyone was really predicting, especially after that tight back and forth affair. The first game of this tournament that went as an 8-point victory for Saskatchewan. Long take here. It would have been for 2 for Skyla Kasich. Man, Saskatchewan just can't hit a shot here in the second half. DeClercq. Now Luca from up top. 4-3. That's NBA distance. Now up to 21 unofficially is Nora Luca. Kukura dribbles through, back outside. Jermacana's long shot, no good. Loose ball, good hustle by Skyla Kasich. And good save, far sideline by Freya Seitz. Shot no good, another offensive rebound. Ball will stay with Saskatchewan. Couple more subs for Alberta. Cole Graham back in. As well, Alex McLaren. 2.5 to go before we can officially hand out the hardware. It will be gold for Alberta and a heartbreaking silver for Saskatchewan. Jermacana's shot underneath won't go. A game that just completely been dominated by Alberta.
Yeah, from start to finish, it's been all Alberta this morning.
Kukura goes to the left hand, tries to dish for Jillian Moses. Back over to Alberta, another Saskatchewan turnover. Certainly a lot to be proud of for this team, Saskatchewan. Told you about the great tournament they've had. Not the finish, obviously, they wanted, but very good throughout. Tons of talent here in Saskatchewan. Won gold at the last Western Canada Summer Games. It will be silver this time. 1:42 to go before those medals will be handed out here in Swift Current. Shot won't go for Jillian Moses. Alberta so good on the defensive side of things, so good at rebounding. Been very good in transition as well. Shot won't go for Matlin Drefts here. Moses comes away with it. Freya Seitz will pick it up, back into the hands of Moses. She gets it back behind her. Long look for Kukura. Kukura off the glass and in for 3. Will allow the substitutions for Alberta checking in. Micah Reed, Claire Dobbenfeld for Saskatchewan. Dobbenfeld wearing number 7. 5'6" player, 15-year-old. Getting a chance to play here late for Team Sask. Open look from the corner for 3. That one well long for Alberta's Cole Graham. Out of bounds, back over to Saskatchewan. Under a minute to go in this one. A reminder, game 2 of our doubleheader coming your way in just over 20 minutes of time. Alberta and Saskatchewan. 16 and under male basketball for gold. Alberta on the run, more fast break points there at the end. Cole Graham's first points of the day. So congratulations to Team Alberta. Only one loss in the tournament coming to this Saskatchewan team. Had a huge 90-point 103-13 victory over Yukon in game 2. Doubled up Northwest Territories 80-40, and then most impressively yesterday 88-35 as their smothering, swarming defense just did not allow Manitoba into that game. And it's going to go as a lopsided victory in the gold medal game as well. Shot clock is off for Saskatchewan. Dobbenfeld controls, now picking it up Jermacana. Looked like that pass was intended for Moses. And now Alberta can just dribble out the final few seconds and they can begin to celebrate. 80-48 the final score. Team Alberta gold medal winners at the Western Canada Summer Games. Well, Blaine, this Alberta team showed from the beginning just how strong they are on both sides. They did it offensively, they did it defensively. they controlled this game beginning to end.
Yeah, they definitely deserved this victory from start to finish. They never relinquished that control. They didn't take their foot off the gas pedal. They were good from beyond the arc. They were good on the glass. Just a real complete game effort, real good effort today by Alberta here.
And although a disappointing end, as I mentioned, for Team Saskatchewan, as we got a look at some of those second half highlights, a great tournament for them, nothing to hang their head about, despite a bit of a lopsided loss in the championship game. Lots of talent here in Saskatchewan. We'll see some of these players as they head off to finish their high school careers, and then likely we'll see some of them play some post-secondary basketball as well.
We'll likely hear from some of these players again. It's not the last time we'll hear from them. Saskatchewan, they worked hard to get here, and they played well. They just came up a little short in the gold medal game.
80-48 the final score, as we get a look at the complete performance we saw today from Alberta. In hostile territory in Swift Current, Saskatchewan. They took the crowd kind of out of it early. They have their own cheering section here as well. Great support from Team Alberta, and now I imagine many of those folks will stay right here in the stands as we've got another Alberta-Saskatchewan matchup coming your way. And on the male side of the draw, Alberta and Saskatchewan heading your way, coming up in just over 20 minutes time from Swift Current, Saskatchewan. So Blaine, as we wrap up game one of our coverage, get set for game two, 80-48, the final score on the girls' side of things. Certainly a tough one for Team Saskatchewan. You don't want to lose, have a lopsided victory on your home floor. Absolutely. But really an entertaining tournament overall. And man, what a performance from Team Alberta from beginning to end.
Definitely. Alberta was on the money today. They're well deserving of that gold medal, and Saskatchewan well deserving of the silver medal. They have nothing to be ashamed of. It's been a great tournament, and they certainly left it all out there on the court today.
Reminder, that same matchup coming your way in about 20 minutes time right here on Shaw Spotlight. On the male side of the draw, Team Alberta taking on Team Saskatchewan. Alberta comes into this one with a perfect 4-0 record. Saskatchewan at 3-1 in round robin play. That lone loss, a 20-point loss to Alberta. We'll see if Saskatchewan can get a measure of revenge in the gold medal game on the male side of the draw. That one again coming your way noon Saskatchewan time. We'll take a little bit of a break in our coverage. Until then, on behalf of Blaine Evans and the whole Shaw Spotlight team, I'm Simon Hyatt. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in about 20 minutes.